What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn. I hope everybody is having a happy and healthy holiday and getting everything that they asked for Christmas. And if you're a fish guy, you're probably going through all the stuff that you already got and look for stuff that you really don't need but you want anyway, because that's kind of what we do. And I'm taking this time to give a brief, happy, and healthy holiday shout out to everybody. And I want to thank everybody for just being supporters of the channel and clicking that like button. And just in case you have not already clicked the like button, click it right now. You know, that's cool because it shows the love, sharing is caring, and it motivates me to keep putting out content like that, because there's always somebody that can learn from either your mistakes or your success by seeing what you're doing, improving on it, or helping each other out. But anyway, this is the shrimp tank. It has been running for quite some time. It's going into the new year happy and healthy. I have had to actually do a lot of cleanup with this tank because the plants grow really quickly, and I was seeing some algae growing into the plants if you look real close. So I did stop the CO2. The CO2 canister sitting over there. It did a great job getting this tank situated and just getting it started. I was really nervous about using the CO2, but I have it hooked up to the Hydros, the CoralView Hydros controller, and it cuts it off at night and just does everything it's supposed to do. I have the temperature and everything monitored. I have my little pH monitor in there. I have an ammonia thing, but that just started falling, so I'm going to pull that out because it looks like an eyesore. And the fish are doing really, really well. Let me bring you in for a closer look. First and foremost, shout out to Liz, because when I talked to her, Liz is one of the members of Brooklyn Aquarium Society. Shout out to her. I have never been successful in keeping shrimps. This is my first shrimp tank. Of course, now that I'm talking about them, they're all in the cut somewhere. I didn't feel like feeding them to bring them out, but the shrimp are really doing well. They're really big, and quite a few of them usually come out when I come up to the glass, but of course they're not going to do it now. And I owe that primarily to her learning from someone that has been very successful. I'm able to ask questions, and that's one of the things that the Brooklyn Aquarium Society is about, is meeting real people with real tanks. You see the ups and downs. First and foremost, you know that they're proven in either their mistakes or their success because you see them on and off the camera in real life. So shout out to everybody at Brooklyn Aquarium Society, of which I'm a proud member. And the second thing that I want to look at is how healthy the Ember Tetras are. And if you hear my son in the background, yeah, he's playing Xbox, but what are you going to do? The embers are really, really healthy. This gal right there, I think that's female. It is just so big. Tiny has gotten really big. If you remember, Tiny is the first fish that I got born in this tank. I never intended on breeding Ember Tetras, but I found Tiny was like the size of a gnat, and now it is growing so fast. It is a beautiful red color. The colors are really, really nice in these fish, and I definitely attribute that to the healthy plant growth in here. Let me tell you about the tank. It's a 10-gallon cube. It's really an 11-gallon cube, pretty much 11-gallon cube. I don't fill it all the way to the top because I really don't like rimless tanks. I'm going to get a glass top cut to fit it. I have the legs in which to sit the glass, but that's another story. I got to get the glass cut and put a little handle on it so I can take it in and out, but I don't fill it all the way up. I have hooked up to this tank the AquaClear 20. I'll take this off, you can see it. Really slow trickle, just some carbon in there, and filter floss. I actually have the cartridge, but I use filter floss because I just love what it does as far as pulling out a little gunk from the tank, and I throw it in the garbage and switch it out every now and then. And my heater. I have a heater in the back, a preset heater. The tank stays at around 77, 78. I have this hooked up to the Hydros, so the Hydros gives me an alert if the temperature goes out of whack, so I don't have those ugly temperature stickers sitting on the side like that. But I have the hydros monitoring this tank, and the tank is filled with fluval stratum as far as substrate, which kind of also helps the plants kind of really grow really fast. The wood, you can see that wood taking on a little bit of that blackbeard algae on there. Probably hit that with a little bit of peroxide. I'm always kind of weary of adding things to this tank because of the shrimp. But yeah, everything's doing really well. I basically cut and remove and let it grow back in. As far as in the way of plants, yeah, a lot of Java fern. I forgot the name of this plant. If you know the name of this plant, leave it in the comments below. I thought it was like a Radicchia, but I'm not sure. I have some swords in the back. I have a melon sword back here. I have some val in the back. I actually have a banana plant, which you can see the leaves all the way up here. The banana plant is growing from way back there. You can see some algae up in there. One of the other reasons that I stopped that CO2. I'm just adding more plants to try to consume whatever nutrients and algae load in there. That, along with some water changes, has done very well in sustaining the plant. And that is it as far as mechanics. Now, as far as the fish, I already introduced you to the Emba tetras, which I have 6, if I'm not mistaken. And I did have guppies in here. Don't ask me why. In a shrimp tank I have guppies. I'm going to pull these guys out. They were little babies that I got from here, and I thought it was cute, and you know, we get carried away. But they're getting big enough that I'm going to put them in another tank because I don't want them eating any shrimp or eating any baby shrimp that I may have in there. So I have, those are the fish. As far as the cats, I have 4 pygmy cories. I have 2 varieties. I forget off the top of my head the name of the species, but this is probably the first time that I've kept pygmy cories, let alone kept cories for a long period of time. I have a panda in the tank next to it. And these guys do a great job. They're always swimming around, front, foremost, in the tank, happy-go-lucky. I feed them in one spot. That was another piece of advice that I got as far as keeping shrimp, keeping cories. It's feed them in one spot. And by doing this, I know where the food is, so I can clean the tank out and not end up with a messy tank all over the place. The other thing is all the snails. I have a ton of these little tiny snails in there, and they come out and eat any leftover food that's in there, and they just do quick work. You can see what's left of a hikari sinking pellet, almost gone. And I also get the seals in the tank because I feed them in the front, so I know where they are. Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention is I have the battery powered pump, which is sitting on top of the AquaClear. That is connected to the hydros, but it's on a intermittent setting. The pump comes on, it comes with an intermittent setting, and what it does is it sends up a wave of bubbles, as you can see, and then it cuts off. So it's not running all the time. I don't get a lot of evaporation, and it's probably bad because it probably displaces a lot of the CO2 in the tank by forcing air into the tank, but the tank's doing good, so I'm leaving well enough alone. But anyway, that is the other piece of equipment that I have on the tank. And one of the reasons I kept that in there is because if I ever had a problem with the power or power loss, or if a pump failed, I did have a power surge in the summer and things did not cut on. Luckily, I didn't lose anything. I did lose coral in the Bikini Bottom tank. I did lose a brilliant acro that I had in there and 2 other pieces that I had in there. So I added that pump just to keep safe and secure. Doing a good job. So as far as the tank is doing, I believe it's about 7 months old. I'll probably I'll put something in the description to verify that. It's about 7-8 months old. Grown in really nicely. If you want to see how it started, I'll put a link here to how I started the tank. I did a video on that when I first set this up. And very simple. It just took some time, did my homework. And it's really a beautiful, simple tank. Perfect size tank for a small space. Of course, I have a few tanks, but for a small tank, or if you have children, you want to set up a smaller tank. It doesn't have to be extremely complicated or well planted out. You can use artificial plants, which I do in several tanks. Like that one, I have artificial and real plants, and people really never know the difference which is real and which is fake. But for small children, or if you're starting out, you want to set something up, perfect setup for that. It's only about 12 inches across, 12 by 12. It's a cube. You can sit it on a desk, table, sit in the corner. Nice little starter tank, and you can go as crazy with it as you want. But the tank is doing good. Thought I'd give everybody an update. What can I say about this tank? If I had to do it over again, the one thing that I would probably do is I prefer a tank with a rim. The one thing you can see is always getting water spots up there. Same thing with this one. Water spots, I never fill them to the top because they just drive me crazy when I'm cleaning the tank. So that's the one thing, if I could change, I would probably put a rim on it, either the Euro brace, like get the glass cut, do a Euro brace in there, or just get something with a rim on it. But beautiful tank, nice and simple. Set it up. Tell me about your tanks. Let me know what you're doing. Hope, what is that, a word? Hopefully everybody's having a good holiday, and I will see you guys all in 2025. Love, peace, and hair grease. This is D signing out. Keeping my sanity by keeping fishes. Funny, I don't even see the shrimp.